Good evening, travelers, students, and sleepy souls. My name is Tomas Pradera, at least here. So I had this grand idea to record myself going through some medical terminology to help myself learn and get accustomed to it as I take up classes this fall for healthcare. And I think it's a smart idea to record myself to help me remember the terms better, but also share that with anyone else who just wants to retain the same information for their classes as well. So if you think this video will be helpful with you to relax, study, or to even sleep, I hope you enjoy this video. So I'm just gonna go through orientation of the body and cell biology basics in some tissues, and that will conclude tonight's video. And like I said, I hope you enjoy and find some knowledge or just comfort out of this video tonight. Without further ado, orientation of the body. Anterior. Anterior, it means in front. Anterior means in front. Posterior. Posterior means in back. It means in the back. Posterior. Ventral. Ventral means in front. In the front. Ventral in front. Dorsal. Dorsal. It means in back. In the back. Dorsal. Caudal. Caudal. C-A-U-D-A-L. It means closest to the tailbone. Closest to the tailbone. Useful in referring to spinal anatomy. Caudal. Rostral. Rostral. It means closest to the head. Useful in referring to spinal anatomy. Rostral. Closest to the head. Head. Lateral. Lateral. On the outside of reference point. Lateral. On outside of the reference point. Medial. 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 Closer to the midline compared to the reference point. Closer to the midline. Medial. Inferior. Inferior means below. Below means inferior. Superior. Superior. Superior means above. Above. Superior. And then there's supine. Supine. It means facing upward. Supine. Facing upward. Supine. Supine. Prone. 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 It means facing downward. Prone. Facing downward. Cell biology basics. Cell biology basics include cell, tissue, organ, system, and then organism. So, to understand that, it's reading it from the smallest component of a living thing to the largest component, which encompasses everything. You have to listen carefully to hear the stepping stones of a living thing. And it starts with cell. And then that next step is tissue. The third is organ. The fourth is organ systems. And the fifth and last is organism. One more time. Cell, tissue, organ, organ system, organism. Now when it comes to cells, there's such thing as a cell theory. The cell theory is basically a description of how every cell functions and originates. And it's broken down into 3 tenets like this. Number 1, all life forms are made from one or more cells. All life forms are made from one or more cells. Number 2, cells only arise from pre-existing cells. Number 2, cells only arise from pre-existing cells. 3. The cell is the smallest form of life. The cell is the smallest form of life. Now, with that being said, there are 2 cell types. 2 cell types. These include Prokaryotes, which are cells without a nucleus or membrane-bound organelles, such as bacteria. The first cell type is Prokaryotes, which are cells without a nucleus or membrane-bound organelles, like bacteria. The second cell type is eukaryotes. Eukaryotes, which are cells with a nucleus and membrane-bound organelles. These include plants and animals, like you and me. One more time. The second cell type are eukaryotes, cells with nucleus and membrane-bound organelles, which include plants and animals. The last terms I'll go over tonight include tissues. Starting with the first out of 4 is epithelial tissue. Which are found on the external surface of the body, such as skin and lining laments, which is basically intestines and renal tubules. But for now we'll focus on skin, which is epithelial tissue that's found on the external surface of the body. The second are connective tissue, which is tissue that joins together other tissues, such as blood, lymph, bone, and cartilage. These are all connective tissues, and they join together other tissues. The third is muscle tissue. Muscle tissue contracts for movement of organs throughout the body. Within muscle tissue, there are 3 types: striated, smooth, and cardiac. 3 types of muscle tissue include striated, smooth, and cardiac muscle tissue. The last tissue of the night are nervous tissues. Nervous tissues carries electrical impulses throughout the body. Neurons. Nervous tissues are tissues that carries electrical impulses throughout the body, such as neurons. And that concludes some medical terminology. I went over the orientation of the body, cell biology basics, and tissues. I hope you found this video comforting, rewarding, and knowledge-bearing. Feel free to let me know if you have any homework requests, so I can make a video that you can sleep to and hopefully download the knowledge as you sleep and find yourself learning more and better. Otherwise, I just hope